part, we study the alphabets, the small letter word, formation of the small letter words, like 2-letter words, 3-letter words, simple sentences when we are very new to any language, right? So this is the elementary stage or learning stage. I hope you are clear. It is German O-level course that is going to pursue, right? Now you can ask me why a prisoner is given chance to pursue studies, to pursue courses in the school, sorry, in the jail itself, because prisoners can't be given permission to pursue the course, any studies inside the jail. I remember it exactly on 2nd of January. I had cited the reasons, right, in a very practical way, giving a touch to the criminology, criminal behavior, you can say the criminal science. I had cited an example, and through that example, we were clear that Evans could have been given permission. Evans is a deserving candidate to get the permission, to obtain the permission, and Evans has been granted the permission. Yes. Now we will have a small look at those reasons which permit Evans to pursue the course. Okay. Can anybody cite the reason? Very few of you are attending the classes. It is less than 50% also. Students, please. Okay. So students, can you please say me what are the reasons for which Evans was eligible to pursue the course? Yes, anybody else? You can use the chat box. Should I open it? Of course. 10 seconds I will give you, then I will give my own reason. Okay. Anyway, so students, in terms of the level of the criminal behavior, right? So the offenses or crimes are also categorized, right? Remember that I had given examples of simple interest and compound interest. And through that, the explanation became very easier on your part. We get a direct conclusion, and we are agree, we are satisfied with the reasons for which Evans got the permission. Now can you say me? Remember the simple interest and the compound interest. Okay. Let me tell you once again. See, similarly, of course, I will directly go toward the compounding offense. So, offenses are categorized as compounding, non-compounding. You must give this reason in your answer with or without. So, crimes, those which are non-compounding, are considered to be less severe crime. But those which are compounding, these are considered to be highly serious or severe intensity or severe gradation of crime. So, since Evans was a kleptomaniac, he is called a congenital kleptomaniac, right? As you see, or as you think, his gene, the biological system through which a person's characteristics are defined and determined. So, Evans was a congenital kleptomaniac because the body chemistry that goes in him permitted him to be a burglar or to be a thief. So he is a congenital kleptomaniac because he is a thief by birth, and it was not coming under the compounding gradation, compounding zone, it was coming under non-compounding zone, so he was given permission, of course with a procedure. Like the examination board was consulted, the governor got the satisfaction, Examination will be conducted in the prison itself, and it is the Oxford prison. Particularly the D wing. Students, today's part will be up to first 4 pages of the textbook. Right? Since it is very vast, we will divide it, and in phase by phase system, we will go on the procedure. Right? Okay. So Evans is in the Oxford prison in the D wing of Oxford prison. Right? And the governor of the prison has been consulted. The examination board has given the permission. Governor is satisfied, right? And Evans would appear the exam in his prison cell itself. Invigilator would be invited from outside, so examination would go in a fair way, and there will be no chance of Evans further escape. Right? So it was agreed that a parson from a church has a different gradation of authorities like bishop, archbishop, priest, father, parson, like this. So, from the nearby church, a person called Bradley, who is a parson by the rank, by the gradation, right? And he is going to act as an invigilator to invigilate exam, right? So, Evans is the examining and he is the examiner. And accordingly, Stephen and Jackson are having a close connection, close contact with Evans, right? So, now it is June and Evans has started the O-level course last September. So in 6 months, the duration of the course, Evans is going to appear the exam, right? Right. Students, remember one thing. Since it is very important, I would like to inform you before. It is a very detective stories. Initially, if you don't have a homework, means if you have not read the text, at least if you have not understood 90% of the text, it will be difficult on your part to understand the 100%. So, understanding the 100% part of this particular chapter becomes difficult. So, in the initial round, if you are able to grasp, to understand, even 90%, then it is considered that you are at a good position. Right? Because it is a detective stories to recognize the person, to make a sequence of the events, connecting with the different characters becomes difficult. Of course, you will know this, right? Even I can set it in a flow chart, so it will be easy on your part to comprehend this, right? So, in order to comprehend this in a timely comprehension, for a timely comprehension, time schedule is important, right? For example, at what time the parson from the church, the invigilator, left his place and proceeded toward the jail to invigilate the exam. Right? At what time he reached at the entrance gate of the prison? Right? Then, for how much time he was thoroughly examined, whether he was coming with any weapon, right? Any sensitive instruments, so that there will be any chances of violence in the prison or not, which things will be permitted, which things will be not, like in the airport checking before you board the airport, right? So like this. Then, how much time was elapsed, passed before the exam got to begin, right? At what time the exam begin? Then during the exam, how many times the phone call came from the examination board and others offices? Who received the call? What was discussed or what was instructed or suggested in the call? Right? How or in what way Evans is behaving inside the jail, right? So all these have a great significance. Like in a detective stories, when you think about the forensic investigation or any investigation on the part of the government, it may be the CBI or the CID or any authorized body to investigate, always they focus on the time zone, the time of departure, the time of exit, entry, beginning the work, ending the work. So this time zone is very important to understand it. And whenever we discuss this, kindly make a note of it. And finally, you make a time zone of a flow chart. In a flow chart, you just narrate in a brief way the actions that happened in connection with the time as given in the text itself, right? So we read that McLeary, a parson from a church, is going to investigate the exam. Right? Now you come to page number 72. Evans the Brave, as the prison officers called him, thrice he had escaped from prison, and but for the recent wave of unrest in the maximum security establishments of North, he would not now be gracing the governor's premises in Oxford. And the governor was going to make absolutely certain that he would not be disgracing them. Not that Evans was a real bottom, just a persistent or nagging presence. See, these are noteworthy phrases and clues you can say, because to detect any crime, to arrest any criminal, clues and hints are highly essential. Like you can say the Scotland Yard dog, which arrests or which traces the criminals through the footsteps, through any smell like that. Right. So in any detective stories, this is important. Whether there is any hole, any loopholes, any minor mistake, any fraction of mistake, that becomes a big positive indication, that becomes a big wave. Even though it was just like a small bubble in the beginning. So these are essential to assemble it and to trace the criminal. See, Evans' presence was not the model, as in the paragraph says. Evans' presence in the jail was not regarded as, Evans' presence in the jail is not regarded as a bottom, right? Simply, it was regarded as a nagging presence. I hope you are writing these words. Yes. So now, students, we will discuss it for a very brief period of time. Why do you think that Evans' presence was not regarded as a bottom? Can anybody say this? Okay, students, can anybody say this? In the last class, we had discussed it. Evans' presence was not a bottom. Yes, Chidesh, are you attending the class? Are you attending the classes? Yes, not only Chidesh, my question to all, it is your all group activity. Those who are attending the classes voluntarily can take the effort. Yes. Students, why do you think that Evans' presence was not a bottom? We had discussed it in the first class. Okay. Can you say why it is not a bottom? Okay, see. Evans does his best in artistic performance, particularly in orchestra. He is a famous and popular concert player. People have an affinity towards him. People have an affinity with him. People in general love an artist, maybe a singer or maybe a dancer, because nobody in the world dislikes art, paint, design, or any singer, or any artist, or any dancer. People always love aesthetic of it, and this is very universal to human nature, right? Nobody can deny this. And Evans was such a chef. He attracted everybody in the musical performance, in the orchestra. So people in general like him. So his presence in the prison cell is never considered a burden, because all people, I mean to say, people in general have a respect, have a likeness towards Evans. They like him because nobody dislikes any artistic performance. And he's a concert player, so there is no chances of dislike. But his presence is a nagging presence. This is a universal human nature. Even if it is not a burden, then it is a nagging presence. Students, without looking at the dictionary, can you please say from your understanding what is nagging presence? Why his presence is considered to be a nagging presence? Yes, can you say it based on the context of the lesson without looking the dictionary, looking the word, searching the word in the dictionary? Yes, students, are you able to say this? Okay. So, are the students here the passive listeners or the active listeners? Yes. Students, can you say me? Yes. See, nagging presence means persistent, annoying, worrying. Okay. You can say it is irritating, or you can say it is irritation. People would in a general way get irritated, right? Because having a constant care, constant look, special care upon the same criminal, right, who has a good record of, ironically I am saying, who is having a good record of staying in the jail and breaking the jail, right? Okay, to annoy by constant schooling, fine. So it was a nagging presence. He would be all right in Oxford. The governor would see to that, would see to it personally. And besides, there was just a possibility that Evans was genuinely interested in O-level German. Just a slight possibility, just a very slight possibility. Ironically, it has been described. It means Colin Dexter wants to say that in general, Evans doesn't like German O-level course because he is not passionate. He is not having a genuine interest to pursue the German O-level course and to enhance his language skills and to learn a foreign language. No. Because it is going to be a means of escape, a creative means of escape, as we discussed in the beginning of the class. Right? So gradually we will find how it is a creative means and not a destructive way. Right? Now, the time zone, I hope you are making the record of the time frame in connection with the narrative or the narration of the story, the detective story. Like 8:30 a.m. 7th June. It is 8:30 a.m. 7th June. The day of exam. Right, so the time on this particular date, the date for the exam begins with 8:30, right? At 8:30 p.m. on Monday, 7th June. Ivan's German teacher shook him by the hand in the heavily guarded recreational block just across from D wing. So it's a handshake, which is a symbol of a good luck, best wishes for any exam or any big event. Guten Glock, well, Evans. This is a German phrase. You can make a record of this. If you are able to quote it in the answer sheet, it will be pretty good. It means good luck, Evans. The German teacher is showing good luck. Probably you give this symbol, this indication when we express a symbol of good luck or we express the best wishes, right? So, Guten Glock means good luck, Evans. Then Shiva is selling pardon. Yes. Here students I would like to ask you one sentence. Even the small, very little expression, common expression in any language, the person who is pursuing the course, learning the language is not able to get, is not able to understand. So that is why Evans further asks pardon. It means you can understand, you can assess Evans' efficiency, the minimum efficiency, the basic efficiency in connection with the language that he is learning. And of course, he is going to appear the exam now. So from this, you can get to know Evans' level, the learning level, right? Whether he is an advanced learner, average learner, or a below average learner. So this is very clear that Evans is a below average learner in German because he is unable to get the very basic symbol or indication also, because symbol is also an elementary or basic or a vital part of any language. So Evans is unable to get any expresses pardon because he is unable to understand the good luck symbol also. So he asks again. Then the German teacher said, I said good luck and it is good luck for tomorrow's exam. Oh, thanks, or I mean, or Dankista. You have not a cat in hell's chance of getting through a course. Underline the phrases in the book, right? A cat in hell's chance. A cat in hell's chance. Students, underline this. I hope you are making a note of this. A cat in hell's chance means, what does it mean? So what is the level of the chances? The chances are very minimal. Very rare chance is there that Evans should pass the exam that he is going to appear. Then Evans tells, I may surprise everybody, becomes overconfident and says, I may surprise everybody because I have mastered the language up to that extent. At 8:30 the following morning, it means on 8th June, 8:30, 8th June, right? So now it is 8:30 a.m. 8th June. Evans had a visitor, two visitors in fact. He tucked his grubby string waist into his equally grubby trousers. Grubby means, dot. Then he tucked his grubby string waist into his equally grubby trousers and stood up from his bunk, means from his cell, smiling cheerfully. Morning, Mr. Jackson. This is indeed an honor. Jackson was the senior prison officer in D wing. Right? Jackson was the senior prison officer. So he will have two prison officers. One is Stephen, another one is Jackson. Jackson is the senior one. And he and Evans had already become warm enemies. You can say antagonistic to each other. At Jackson's side stood Officer Stephens, and Stephens is another prison officer Let me write the line. So Jackson and Stephen. I hope you wrote this in your the private day. So we have two prison officers. One is Mr. Stephen and another one is Jackson. Jackson was the senior one, right? This is prison officers. Senior one. I am writing it in brackets for your understanding. Jackson was the senior prison officer on D wing, and he and Evans had already become one enemies. At Jackson's side stood Officer Stephens, a burly, surly-looking man, only recently recruited to the profession. This is highly important because the criminals, the ill-minded people, always take the undue advantage of the vulnerable, people who are weak in terms of their intelligence, their understanding, their experience, and all those. And there is a good expression, good relevance of the word that is mentioned here. Stephen is otherwise new to the profession, recently recruited, right? And with the course of the novel, with the progress of the narration, you will get to know how he will take the undue advantage of the new person, new to the profession, that is the novice Mr. Stephen. And Stephen is a very strong and stout man, and it is there like burly and surly looking man. Jackson nodded partly, and how is our little Einstein this morning then? Wasn't he a mathematician, Mr. Jackson? Yes, underline this. Wasn't he a mathematician? Yes. So students, can you please say, why does Jackson tell that he is a mathematician? Sorry, Stephen tells to Mr. Jackson, right? The newborn tells to the experienced one, is he a mathematician? It must be looking at the body languages, the attitudes, the approaches, right, of the prisoner. He must have uttered this statement, right? So this is an observation. Wasn't he a mathematician? So from this expression, what idea do you perceive in your mind? What idea do you get? Right? Yes. Are you having any idea, student? See, isn't he a mathematician means it must be that Evans is very calculative and very shrewd, very high with the ready wit, or you can say presence of mind, very shrewd you can say. That is, in English it is called acumen. Shrewd, right? Pronoun shrewd. You can say very calculated. So he is regarded as a mathematician. I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson. So the word Jew has also an association with mathematician, calculative. People who do not give you any chance or do not misuse any opportunity, they fully exploit any opportunity that they get, that they have, and even that they derive, that they draw from any circumstance. Very calculated, acumen you can say, or very shrewd. Ivan's face was unseven and he wore a filthy looking red and white bubble hat upon his head. So he is wearing a bubble hat. Kindly underline the dressing part. It becomes very helpful for his escape. So a bubble hat upon his head. Give me a chance, Mr. Jackson. I was just going to shave when you burst in. So Evans is taking permission to shave. Which reminds me, Jackson turned his eyes on Stephens. Make sure you take his razor out of the cell when he is finished scraping that ugly mug of his. Clear, one of these days he will do us all a favor and cut his bloody throat. For a few seconds, Evans looked thoughtfully at the man standing ramrod straight in front of him. See in the picture, you will get to know what Evans is looking at. A string of Second World War medals proudly paraded over his left breast pocket. Right? Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my nail scissors away? Evans had always worried around his hands. Right? So he's asking the senior prison officer that he's asking whether he has taken his nail scissors. And your nail file too. It means he has taken both. Because the nail scissor and nail file are always sensitive. There are chances or there are probability of misuse it by physically assaulting somebody, and there are chances of escape. So look, for a moment, Ivan's eyes smoldered dangerously. Yes, from the physical appearance, you will get to know the inner feeling, and it is essential in a detective stories, a detective piece of literature. Ivan's, okay, once again, you just focus on this. For a moment, Ivan's eyes smoldered. Yes, students, if somebody's eyes is smoldering, or if you find the smoldering sense in somebody's eyes, then what connotation do you get about the person? What is your impression about the person? It means if Ivan's eyes is smoldering, then how does Evans behave from within? What is the psychological behavior that he exhibits? Yes. Anybody else? If eyes smolder means eyes look black, eyes look red. Remember the word, remember the chapter, the rat trap. Then you will get to know the word smolder, right? The iron mill. You will have a feeling of the furnace when the iron works go on. Yes, angry and glaring eyes, correct answers. So Ivan looks to be angry. And always we have learned from the beginning that with the senior prison officer, that is Jackson, he is a bitter enemy. Many hard exchanges go on, hard reactions take place. Right? Orders of the governor Evans. He leaned forward and cleared, his voice dropping to a harsh, contemptuous whisper. You want to complain? Evans shrugged his shoulders slightly. The crisis was over. It means Evans is not going to complain. Probably the governor might be agree that Evans may please be provided the nail scissor and the other instruments of what he wants. The governor may become agree, and if the senior officer becomes agreed, get the consent, then the junior ones have to follow this. But the junior ones also won't give any chance to Evans that he would approach the senior officer and he would diminish them. Because everybody in an office, preferably in a jail or in a police office, especially in a security zone, the office which deals with the safety security, they never transfers their responsibility or do not give any chance of transferring their responsibility to their superior ones, to their boss, because they will lose their own stature and importance. So, Evans is also giving a green signal that he is not going to complain for this complaint in the front of the governor. So, this is an indirect friendship, an indirect gesture, kind gesture of friendship gesture, right? And gradually, every criminal begins kind gesture from a fraction. Gradually, it becomes a big integer and they take the undue advantage, right? So these are the beginning parts of showing gesture, right? And usually growing up is acumenship or shrewdness. Like by shrugging his shoulders, he is giving an indication that he is not going to complain the governor, right? Okay. So students, this much for today. Now let me take the attendance. Please get ready. Earlier it was 40, 42. Now 4 students are missing. Please tell them. Otherwise, they would have a big loss attending the classes but not attending during the time of the roll call. Okay. Fine. So, okay. I will record only the percentage part. So I will get to know those who are present. Okay. And I will begin from 12th. So here it is, starting from roll number 1. 1 and 2 are absent, right? Then 3 present, 4 is absent. Then 5 present, 6, 7 absent. Yes, 6 and 7 absent. Then 8 present, 9 and 10 absent. 9 absent, roll number 10 absent, then 11 present, 12 present, 13 the BNC is absent. Then roll number 14 Akans present, 15 Hardik present, 16 Hardik Singh Hara absent, Hardik S absent, then 17, yes, 17 Harsha present, 18, 19 absent, so Hitendra and Karthikeya absent. Then 20 present, 21 absent, Khushi is absent, right? 22 Komal present, 23 Lakshita absent, 24 Manisha present, 25 to 27 absent. So about 25 Monish, Navneet and Nisha. It is Monish, Navneet and Nisha absent. Then 28 Pragya present, 29 to 31 Pranaya, Pratibha and Priyanshi. Pranaya, Pratibha, Priyanshi absent. Then 32 Mallika present, 33 Rahul Shalvi absent. Then 34 Rahul Singh present. Then 35 to 40 absent. So Ritu Sharma, Shafali Gupta, Sunil Jain, Suryansh Dharma, Ujesh Sisodiya, Utkarsh Srivastav absent. Then 41 Barsha present, 42 Yash absent. Then 43 Utkarsh present. So this is about 12A. Then 12C. Aditi present. Then Akshita absent. Then roll number 3 चल रहा है सर. Roll number 3 present, then 4 absent, Anjali Gaur absent. Then roll number 5, Anjali Vishwas present, 6 Bhavishya present, 7 Bhavna present, then 8 to 12. 8 Chandni Satyawal absent, Charu absent, Charu Burma also absent, Darshana Mali absent, Dhyendra Sundar absent. 13 Dhoni present, 14 Gitika present, 15 Janvi present, 16, 17 absent. So Janvi Thakur and Jaya Khan absent. Right? Janvi Thakur, Jaya absent. Then 18 Joshna present, 19 Khushbu present, 20, 21 Khushi and Aksita absent.
Present, sir.
Then 22 present, 23, okay, 23 absent. Then 24
Present, sir.
24 present, 25 to 29 absent, right? So okay, students, let me have a note. 12C, 25 to 39 Yes, 25 to 29 absent. Then 30 present, 31 absent. 32 present, 33 absent. Roll number 34 present, 35 present, 36. Yes, 36 to 40. 36 to 40 absent. Then 41, 42 present, 43 present. Yes. Then 44 present, 45 is absent. Okay. Okay. Thank you, students.